I think that before you become a leader for other people, you have to be able to be a leader for yourself. You have to be confident in your own decisions and know when you need to reach out for help because you're not going to be the best at everything that you do. No one is.
Good afternoon, Hannah and Ethan.
Good
Yeah, good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Curious, when did you start at Chinese International School?
So I've been here since reception. So this year marks my 14th year. I have two older siblings, and so my family has been attending CIS since I was born.
So I've been here since year 7, and I also have a younger sister. So similar to Hannah, but in opposite positions.
What about your first leadership role you remember playing at CIS?
My first leadership role was in year 5 when I took on like the lead role of the primary school musical. I guess that counts as a leadership role. I think in year 8 I was a student council representative. The first taste into helping my community in a little bit more of a conventional way. Yeah.
But I was a bit of a late bloomer. So my first leadership role was in year 11, where I took the leadership position for this coding program. Second thought, it was actually in year 10, where I was the leader of the PE committee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was really difficult at the time because it was hard to get everyone motivated. The echoed signals that everyone was sending was essentially that, oh, PE committee can't do much because everything's there set. So I had to design 2 sports days while I was in Hangzhou, and seeing people have fun, I think that was the most rewarding thing.
When you were nominated by your peers and by our faculty for consideration as head girl and effective lead, what were your feelings?
Oh, there were a lot of mixed feelings there. My first thought was, I want to make sure that I'm doing this because I'm capable of doing this and not because my brothers were in this position before, and so I just have to live up to their name.
At the time, I had very clear expectations on who would be the nominees. And I think a lot of my friends had that too. And I did not expect myself to be on it. And later on, soon after, it was followed by a sense of, wow, like if I do have the position, I really have to live up to what my friends and peers voted me for. And I will do every single thing that I can to really help my peers and all the secondary students to really elevate their experience as much as I can. But I think what really sets the head boy and head girl apart is the fact that besides being public representations, what we do and what we achieve within our term is really up to us. There are no frameworks for what we have to achieve by the end of our term.
I definitely agree with that. The students who become head boy and head girl, they have to be really self-motivated.
Or one of the hardest things that I felt was the fact that although everything looks so simple to do, it can take forever to achieve.
The hardest part about the role is not really having any break. All of these projects will need individual meetings with certain groups of people, but those can really add up. So I would say that like working a lot is one of the most difficult parts of being head girl, but also that's one of the best parts of being head girl.
We've been trying very hard to decentralize leadership across the student body. What is your vision of leadership?
I think leadership is, can I go first,
You can
Hannah?
go first,
Okay.
yeah.
It's a quality that you can develop and train where you can get everyone that you're working with to the same page without having anyone feel left out.
I think that it's important not to conflate leadership with like public speaking or with the ability to talk to a large group of people. Leadership is an inherent willingness to help others and to notice when others need help. And I think that everyone can demonstrate their own form of leadership.
What would you say are the stand out as the greatest strengths of CIS at the moment?
CIS has just been very open to change, and very willing to hear from students and to take that feedback into consideration. I love that the school has the patience to listen to every student. One, student agency and student voice fosters a very positive mentality in students, knowing that their own voices matter and that if they step up to the plate, they can really make some change happen.
I think one of the strengths of CIS is how, to my understanding, some teachers go around classrooms to see how other teachers teach. And I think it really helps teachers get a grasp of, oh, so this is how my peers are doing it. Similarly, in the way of how we see our friends and see, oh, so that's how they're doing their tests. Oh, that's how they're like practicing. So in that sense, I think it's really amazing to see that side of peer learning from each other.
And also, what are, in your views, the main areas for improvement that we should bear in mind?
One thing that I think we could improve on is staff discussion with students regarding their learning experience, which was one of the reasons why Hannah and I wanted to pursue that revamp of the teacher feedback form. And although that's a small addition, I think it's really important. And one day we will get to the point where students can casually approach teachers and say, oh, I think it'll be a great idea if we did this in class, so that both sides get the type of education that they want to deliver and the type of education that they want to receive.
I definitely think that there should be more Chinese instruction and that everyone would benefit from it. I personally think that there's not enough attention paid to the Chinese education, especially in secondary. That I think should be a priority.
With the rise of SAE, the Student Arts Executive, they've really plowed through a lot of projects, and they did an excellent job, in my opinion, in bringing art into light at CIS. And I would really want to see a similar body arise for different areas. For example, engineering. It will also be equally as great if we could get a structure for the engineering side or whatever different side that we could explore.
And have you gained anything valuable during this period?
This pandemic has caused us to really get closer to one another.
No, I think we've also learned something as a year group. These historical moments, to be witnessing it in firsthand is really one thing that we would never have learned otherwise.
Because what counsel would you give younger students?
Or at least attempting to understand what is going on, how come, and what is my view upon this, and make that really your own opinion and make it a really firm one, because these are important topics that will one day come again, and it is critical for you to really understand as much as you can inside out what is really happening.
As important as it is to have your own opinion and to really go through a lot of sources and just be informed about the situation, it's also okay to be unsure about a lot of things, to not know, because no one really has everything sorted out.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Well said. Your extraordinary humility, courage, inspiration, resilience, determination, ingenuity, and countless other qualities are a testimony to the great strengths of our CIS student body, and we are sure constitute a legacy on which future generations of CISers will be building an ever better and stronger and more inclusive school. Thank you very much, and best wishes to everyone in our community for a safe, healthy, and fulfilling week to come.